Hello. I hope that clap wasn't too loud. Just realizing probably shouldn't clap right in front of the microphone. It's probably kind of loud for you guys. Sorry about that. Anyway, hey, what's going on, guys? So I normally would just kind of leave it on the kind of pre-show screen there for a couple minutes, but I just wanted to get right into it because I think building this kit is actually going to go probably pretty fast. So the majority of the stream, I just kind of want to hang out with you guys, talk with y'all, answer a bunch of questions if you guys wanted to ask some questions or whatever, or just chat, question, comment, whatever you guys want to chime in with. Because the actual building of this is probably not going to take all that long. It doesn't have a ton of pieces, relatively simple, but very cool. So I'm looking forward to putting this guy together. Butterfly said the clap was not loud at all. Okay, well that's good. Yeah, I'm sure actually, yeah, the mic probably cut it off. That's good. All right, so let me just say hello to you guys there in the chat. I see a lot of familiar faces. Stickman is there. Corey, Schneckles, Juan, Yatta, Alvin. Sorry, let's see who else is there. Willie T. What's going on, guys? So yeah, we got the imaginary skeleton. I haven't seen any news about Bandai doing any more kits in this line as of yet, but really hoping that they will. Justin there. What's going on, Justin? As well. Yeah, we're really hoping that they will. I can assume, they'd probably do like the most famous dinosaurs first. Like it'd be like a Triceratops or a Stegosaurus, probably next, something like that. If they do it in the same scale, a Brachiosaurus, something like that, would be really cool. It would be pretty big, which would be a lot of fun, I think. But I don't know, if they're keeping them all in 1/32 scale, probably something, sort of similar sized to this, like a Triceratops or something, I guess would make sense. But let's see, Wong, Andrew, hi, and Nerfscape, hello. Are you planning on reviewing the HD Nightingale? Yes, I am planning on reviewing the HD Nightingale if I can get one. The problem is that I pre-ordered it and my pre-order wasn't able to be fulfilled because they didn't get enough. So, just waiting for Bandai to send out some more, so hopefully I can get mine. So, no Nightingale at the moment, but I mean, I've got plenty of other stuff to build, so it's kind of okay. Speaking of, I don't know if this will be either tomorrow or the next day, but gonna live build this guy, the RG Zeta. I think I posted about this last week on Instagram. That I did the Exia. I did the whole kind of Mythbusters thing with the Exia kit, and so I wanted the dudes in, I don't remember exactly who it was, I'm sorry. So someone or a couple people in my Patreon Discord suggested doing some more Mythbusters episodes with like something like with the Zeta, and I'm sure there's probably one or two other ones that we can do later, but yeah, so I'm gonna do the review as like another Mythbusters kind of thing for the RG Zeta. See, is it really that bad? But I'm gonna live build it first. So if you want to see the live build of the Zeta, that might be tomorrow. More likely that'll be, what day is it today? Tuesday. Right, so Thursday morning, my time. It'll be Wednesday night for you guys in the US. Zahid, good morning from Singapore. Hello, good morning. David T, what's going on? Dino. Colin, hello from Nova Scotia, Canada. Hello, and I saw Keen there on Facebook as well too. Damn. So someone keeps commenting, I don't know, I don't remember the person's handle. You exist in the future. Hey, what's going on, Mike? Someone keeps commenting in my videos, complaining about my use of as well too. And now it really bothers me because, of course, it's something that I just say and I didn't notice it, but someone pointed out to, has like pointed out to me a bunch of times now in my videos that I always say it. So I'm sorry, guys, and now I'm catching myself saying it, and just to like bad, like, what do I say, linguistic habit. I don't know. When you live in a country where nobody speaks English, like where you're just not around native English speakers for years and years, your English diminishes. I can tell you guys that is absolutely happens. My wife speaks English, well enough, but she's not a native English speaker. So like we speak in a mix of English and Korean. And like I am sorry to say to her, but I've picked up bad English habits from her too. So like just using just grammar just kind of incorrectly, but just for the sake of it's just like commonly understood between us, even though it's not grammatically correct and things like that. But yeah, I've been living in Korea/Japan for 11 years, and even when I was working in a school, I was still like the only native English speaker there. Even though I'm teaching English all day long, I'm teaching English to kids. I'm not around other native English speakers. In my first couple of years, I hung around with a lot of other foreigners, so I was probably kind of okay then. But yeah, it happens over time. So I'm sorry to whoever that is that keeps commenting about that, and just to all of you guys, if you notice me saying as well too, I'm sorry. Honestly, I don't think it's that bad a thing, but now it's bothering me now because I notice it more. Is that a dead Grimlock? Yes. Feel that since I'm married, I feel like my English has lost a few brain cells communicating. Yeah, it happens when you're in a mixed relationship. I mean, like mixed language, mixed culture, language. Culturally, stuff happens as well too, but yeah, language. Hello everyone, I am Peachy. They're on Twitch. Let's see, let me just go back. See what else. Corey asking, after they sell all the pre-orders of the Nightingale, I think they'll print more. Yeah, I'm sure they're working on getting some more, because I know even in Japan, there's like a shortage of Nightingales. A lot of places are sold out. So like, if it's a noticeable shortage even in Japan, then you know it's bad, because then that's whatever the situation is in Japan, it's 10 times worse outside of Japan. So yeah, it is bad. Mike asks, is your wife excited to be moving to the States? Thank you, Danju. Just first, thank you for the super chat there. This is one strange looking mobile suit. Yes, indeed. To answer your question though, Mike, about being excited about moving to the States, honestly, like, both my wife and I are kind of like on the same page about it. In that we're both excited and also nervous about a lot of things as well too. I think both of us, like, all things considered, we would kind of prefer to stay in Korea. We kind of like it here. It's a lot more affordable as well too. Just the cost of living, insurance, all that kind of stuff is all just cheaper here. It's a lot more affordable. I don't ever worry about having to go to the doctor. Like, I just been over the past week, I've been to the orthopedic clinic a few times, just because my neck has been bothering me, and just like you go in for like some physical therapy, just see the doctor, say what's up, just get some physical therapy, and it costs like $8. It's kind of nice. And like, is the quality the same? I don't know, because I've never had physical therapy in the US, but I mean, I'm sure the quality is possibly a little bit more simplistic. Like, the staff is probably not quite as trained, I suppose, but I mean, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, mixed feelings about moving to the States. My wife probably should be a lot more nervous about it, to be honest. I think a lot of what it's going to be like, of course, probably hasn't hit her yet and won't hit her until we're there and like 6 months, a year into it. That's kind of it's what happened to me and what I know from other foreigners who have come here to Korea. Like, around 6 months, a year into living in a completely new, different country is when it kind of starts to get tough. That's like the hardest point. And if you make it through that, then you're fine. But that's the kind of difficult zone. All right, let's get to the build. Yes. Okay. So if I want to get a kit, that's best to get it now or wait for the Gunpla gods to know when it's back in stock. I mean, it depends on the kit. If it's a new kit, you know, especially a popular one, if you can get it right away, if you want it, you know, maybe you just get it right away if you can afford it. Because, yeah, you never know if it might become one that Bandai doesn't reprint very often. Alright, so I will show you guys this, obviously, in the unboxing portion of the review for this kit. But just for you guys who are watching live, I'll just show you this. It's pretty cool. It's kind of like the perfect grade kits. If you guys have built like some of the earlier perfect grade kits where they came with like 2 books, one's the instruction manual, one's the construction manual. Like, this is the manual that just goes over the building of the kit. It's all pretty standard. But this one is just like a bunch of information. So it's like tons of information like about Tyrannosaurus and its skeleton. Obviously that's kind of the main thing, so breaking down the different parts of the skeleton, what everything is, and everything in here is in Japanese and in English as well. So very cool. And like interview here with this guy Kyoichi Tomita, who is the Japanese paleontologist who worked with Bandai in designing this kit. So you got just a bunch of information if you're a dinosaur fan. There's lots of cool stuff in here. Very nice. So, yeah. Just wanted to show you guys that real quick before we get started. Also, here's the base. It's also quite detailed. You can see it's got some footprints in there, log, plant. It seems a bit odd to have like vegetation in here with a skeleton, because this kind of vegetation wouldn't be preserved like that, so it's kind of like mixing. This seems like it's meant to be painted up like a realistic scene, right? But then you have the skeleton, which is obviously a fossil, so it's kind of a weird mix, but it's cool. To build models at this pace, exercise is key. I have a pull-up bar I use daily that helps me realign my back and keep my shoulder and neck strong. That's probably a good idea. Yes, in general, I do need to exercise more, Mike. That's true. Not just for like my body, but for my weight gain as well too. Being a dad, you get that dad bod as your time for exercising and all that dwindles while other responsibilities take its place. It happens. But yeah, the problem with my neck is probably made worse by the fact of like what I do for a living. But it's not only because of that. I have one of the bones in my neck is like a little bit misshaped, has like an extra little thing on it, so it kind of just pinches the nerves or like muscle or whatever in my neck more easily. It kind of gets injured easily. So I'm just gonna follow the manual and we start off right away with the head, the most exciting part. So let's get started. And I will say that one thing about this is that just looking at the pictures, it's a little bit difficult to kind of see what's going on. But you can tell like when you have the parts, like how they're supposed to fit together. But like looking at the pictures, because it's just like a weird blobish shape, it's kind of hard to tell like, do I have this part this way or is that backwards, or kind of which way is that supposed to go? But I think I got it there. Yeah, once you're actually putting the pieces together, like you can see how they're meant to fit together well enough. So what kind of other dinosaur would I like to see in the line? I mean, I mentioned that I think probably where they'll go with it is like just one of the big ones, like Triceratops, Stegosaurus, Brachiosaurus, something like that. But if I could choose, I don't know, something like another theropod, I think would be cool, and I think probably a lot of people would want like a Velociraptor or something, and I think they would have to go with a different scale, because if it's the same scale as this, it would just be too small. But I would like something like kind of larger, kind of medium-sized theropod, like Ceratosaurus or Carnotaurus would be cool as well. Gundam Illis, thank you for the super chat there. David T, is this the kit with the new plastic mixture? How does it feel so far? I wondered about that as well. I thought that it was, but there's nothing anywhere on the box that says anything about that. For those of you guys who don't know what we're talking about, I thought that they were making a new plastic mixture that was like mixed with like limestone or something, or some sort of like actual kind of stone was mixed in with the plastic. Just kind of like a novelty thing. But yeah, I thought I'd heard about that, I think from Adam. But there's nothing on like the box about that. So I thought if that's the case for this, they probably would advertise that. They'd have it like on the box or in the booklet or anything, but I can't find any information about that here on the kit. So I'm guessing that's maybe not this kit, that's something else that they were doing that for. Because I thought I remember seeing something else dinosaur skeleton related that was coming out in the near future. And so I think that that's what that is. Are you planning to paint this like Wraith Bone and stuff? Yes, I am. I haven't exactly decided how to go about painting it, but I would like to paint it, yes. Or at least do something with it. Even if it's not fully painting it. Because I'll show you. So there's our head. Check that out. Where was that? I think it's in the manual or on the box. Yeah. Here in the manual, there's a little thing about how to weather this kit up, like just directly on the plastic with just a few other different like weathering products and stuff. Some of those I have, so I haven't looked at that closely yet. So I'll look at that and see. Maybe I'll just do something like that, like what's done in the manual. Just kind of. And of course I'll do a video on whatever I do with it. I'll share that with you guys. But yeah, maybe just do... Damn, sorry if I keep hitting the mic. Just do what they do in the manual. Whether it directly on the plastic or fully paint it, I don't know. We'll see. Is it articulated, Samuel asked. No, it's not articulated at all. And I'm kind of glad for that. Yeah, it kind of would have been nice maybe to change the pose. And I guess probably what would have... The best thing would have been if they would have given you different parts so that it's like fixed pose, but you have some different option parts to kind of choose whichever pose you like. So if you could have the option of making it either jumping or standing, something like that, you know? But I'm glad they didn't make it articulated, because then they would have had to make joints in it, and it's kind of like with the, not Real Grey, but just any version of the Evangelion. Like the Evangelion's elbows, for example, are like it's like an organic piece. There's not an like joint there, like the knees. It's like any version of the Evangelion that's articulated, like the joints don't look right because it doesn't have joints like that. It's not that kind of robot. I think it'd be the same kind of thing with this. If they made joints in it, like they could hide them pretty well, but I think you would still see some joints here and there, and I think that it would just kind of not look as nice as just a fixed pose, unjointed. Okay. I wish this T-Rex was based off the skeleton of Sue. Yeah, Gabrielle, exactly. I also wish that. I mean, it's a Tyrannosaurus skeleton, so like it's close enough. But yeah, I mean, I wish that it was in the pose of the Sue skeleton in Chicago. Yeah, totally. I thought the same thing. I like when I first saw it, I thought, oh, are they gonna do that? Because that's like the most famous like T-Rex skeleton, right? The Limex dinosaurs were P Bandai, and their pieces were white with lime mixed in. Okay, that's what it was. Thank you, Reiji, for clearing that up. So yeah, the Limex dinosaurs. So yeah, those were a P Bandai thing, separate. And they made a few different ones. They made like 2 or 3 different skeletons, right? I think they're not out yet, but take the RG inner frame and stick it inside and make a fossilized Megatron. So yeah, I'm not sure about kit bashing this. I'm sure people, will kit bash this. And if you're wondering about how can I tell which rib piece is which, because they are all different, and I have them all cut out here, so I don't know which one's number 8, 11, 9, 10. But Bandai has done something very clever and made little marks on here, so I know it's going to be kind of hard for you guys to see. But there's little dots on there. So this one has 4 dots. This one has 1 dot in the lower left corner. This one has 2 dots in upper left and lower right. So they're each marked separately. So even if you do like what I've done here, cutting them all out ahead of time, you can tell which one's which by just checking the little marks on each piece. Very ingenious. Love it when Bandai does stuff like that, because not only does it just make it easier, it just kind of takes the guesswork out of doing it when you're building in this way, but I just like to see interesting stuff like that. So next piece, we need this one. Just makes it that much easier when you're lining everything up. Just asking any reason why Alex the Doof is being inactive on YouTube. Laser Gator Alex, I think he's just doing other things. I think he's when did I see Alex last? It's probably been about a month or so since I've seen Alex, since he came through here. But yeah, I think he's just doing other stuff. Before his kind of inactivity on YouTube, the main thing that he was doing was his like travel videos and stuff from Japan. But now, like with COVID, he's not able to go to Japan anymore, so kind of lost his like main source of content that he was doing. So that's all. As far as I know, I don't think there's too much any other reason to, even like when he was still making videos, he wasn't building that much, so I think he hasn't like been building for quite a while. Would you recommend kit bashing a Kshatriya with a silver bullet suppressor? Would I recommend it? I don't know if I would recommend it, but do I think it would be a good idea? Sounds interesting. Kshatriya and silver bullet suppressor, they're both like pretty large mobile suits, so I think at least in that sense they would match up pretty well. So yeah, I mean, obviously it depends on what you do with it, but I think in general it sounds like an interesting idea. Yeah. I have a question. Is Citadel paints good for painting Bandai kits? I don't see why not. I know most people don't use them for Bandai like Gunpla. I think they're not as commonly used as other types of paint, but that doesn't mean that they don't work well or you can't use them. I think just other paints are more commonly used. Citadel I know are more used by like people who paint minis and stuff. Alright, that was pretty easy. There's our rib cage with all separate pieces. Very cool. Man, that is fun. And feels kind of gross, to be honest. Feels a little bit like I'm actually holding like a squirrel bones or something. I don't know. But yeah, it honestly feels a little bit gross, but it's very cool. Okay. Neck piece goes here like that. So it's kind of interesting too. I didn't know that the Tyrannosaurus neck vertebrae kind of went out like that. This shape that I just didn't know. That goes on there. I don't know what those would be called, kind of like neck ribs or something. Is this the new plastic they were talking about? Eldad. No, sorry, we were just talking about that, about the new plastic. No, this is not the new plastic. Reiji clarified for us that that's the Limex plastic that's used on, it's going to be used on a couple of P-Bandai kits, not this one. Make it into a zombie squirrel for a Halloween build. Yeah, so I'm sure we'll see some really interesting kit bashes and stuff with this. I don't think I've seen anything yet, but I'm sure it's just a matter of time before we see some people doing some kit bashes with some, I don't know, Gunpla or whatever the case may be. There's our undercarriage. I would assume the materials used would be somewhere on the box of the menu. Yeah, it's just regular plastic. This one is not the Limex plastic. It's not the one that's mixed with stone. So yeah, I was thinking that it was like limestone or something, but Reiji said it's lime, which I think is softer, so that would make sense. So then these, sorry, it's kind of hard to line these up like this. So shoulder blades kind of plug onto the sides of the ribs there. And then, boom, there we go. So there's the top half. That's cool. So you could modify this in order to turn the head, because this joint connecting the neck to the head is like a kind of a key shape, but if you just trim this little peg a little bit, you could make it so that the head would be turned. It's a small little bit of articulation that you could add to it if you wanted. There's a video of Meijin Kawaguchi building one of the Limex kits. He talks about how the pieces are slightly heavier than plastic kits. Oh, is that okay? Is that on the like Bandai YouTube channel? Reiji, if you can somewhere send me a link or something to that, just save me the trouble of searching it. That'd be awesome. I'll check that out later on. And also Patrick's here. Hey Patrick, what's going on? Patrick, while you're here, actually I was meaning to message you yesterday. I wanted to ask you, did you get in a pre-order for me for one of the Barzam kits? For one of the AOZ Barzam kits? I wanted to ask about that because it came up for pre-order here, again in Korea. Because I missed it originally, so I remember you messaging me about that. About helping me to get one of those. But assuming the pre-order was available yesterday, assuming it's still available, I think I can pre-order it here now. But the problem is that it's not coming till like December, I think. Oh, but you did. Okay, ships next month or September. Okay then, never mind. Cool. Awesome. Thank you again. Alright. Because yeah, the problem with pre-ordering it here is that I think it's for the second round, which is not until I think like December it said, and then we're planning on leaving Korea in November, so that wouldn't be good. Alright, let's see. Okay, I see where they're going with this. So you build the tail, which I kind of don't really like the tail. And obviously, like, I'm no paleontologist, but as far as I know, I thought that it was kind of determined that the Tyrannosaurus and like most theropod tails were like pretty rigid. So this S curve in the tail seems a little bit too curvy. I thought that the tails were like determined to be more rigid than that it wouldn't do that kind of curve. But hey, I could be that I'm not up on the most recent research, is very possible. But there you go. It looks kind of cool like that, doesn't it? Without the legs. Just the head. Let me just get on camera there for you. Sorry. Just the head and his little arms, and it's just this long snake body. That's kind of cool. We got the stand piece. Let me see what's going on with that. Leaving so soon, didn't you just get your new setup ready a few months back? It's been a year. I've been in this studio for a year. But yeah, it happens. You know, we kind of had to move here. It's kind of a whole long story. Our old apartment we were in before the one we were in currently. Willie T says, I am a paleontologist. The stiffness depends on the presence of ossified tendons. Okay. Does USA Gundam still have pre-orders up for the Nightingale? I would have to check. I know when we talked with Adam on Friday, Adam said that there was a few pre-orders left, but it's very possible those are sold out by now. So I'm not sure, Corey. You'd have to go check the website. You mentioned Converge in your custom build. What are some other newer bands you're a fan of? Newer ones, unfortunately, I don't really keep up with a lot of new bands, so I should. I'm sure there's a lot of great new bands out there that I would love. So if you have recommendations, you know, by all means, send them along. The only kind of even remotely new person that I listen to these days is probably Nakamura Emi, who's just a Japanese singer. So it's not like hardcore at all. It's nothing related to Converge, not even close. But that's kind of the only like I don't know, new person that I'm listening to. Really, I mean, I keep up with all Converge's new stuff, but yeah, not really too much else new stuff that I listen to. Okay, sorry. No, there was a question, something I was in the middle of answering, and then I was kind of got sidetracked. Oh yeah, as far as leaving this place after being here for a year. So yeah, basically the long and short of it, the apartment we were in before, we were supposed to move out, but the company that owns our apartment was like bankrupt, so they couldn't give us our deposit back. So basically, we were able to just stay in the apartment until we got our deposit back, which was great because we were staying in the apartment for free in the meantime. But the problem is we didn't know if or when we were ever going to get our deposit back, which is a good chunk of money. You kind of would like to have that back, and we were supposed to get it back. And there was, I mean, like, legally we were supposed to get it back, but we didn't know when that was going to happen because of what was going on with the company that owns our apartment at the time. So we ended up not being able to move out of the apartment when we wanted to, and we ended up staying there for like, it's like a year. Seems like, I think, that we were there rent free, or like free. We weren't paying on rent anyway, free, which was great. But then finally we got the money back suddenly, and then it's like, okay, well, now you get your money back, now you have to move out. So now we had to find a different place, and so fortunately we did find a place where we're living now, which is great. But yeah, we had to. Well, we were planning on moving to America in the near future, so we had to just move into this place. And we're here for a year and a half or so until our planned moving day to America. So, yeah, anyway. I don't envy you packing up this office, though, Zach. Damn, yes. Yeah, it's going to be quite the chore. Heads can be on the shoulder, rib cage can be on the shield. Tail can be a whip. Man, if only this was... yes. Yeah, you could do some very cool stuff with this kit, definitely. I mean, I'm sure we'll see some cool custom builds with this. I've not seen too much yet. Isaac, when you skated, what board did you skate? I think the last board that I have, the one that I still currently have now is a Baker. Hang on. Spam call. Baker, but then before that, I've had a number of different things. Like for a time, I really enjoyed Black Label boards, and I think I had 1 or 2 Toy Machine boards. Yeah, and then Baker. What scale is this in? This is 1/32 scale, which I kind of don't like because I don't think I have any 1/32 scale like figures. It's the problem. It's like if I wanted to do like a little like mini diorama or something, or just like a little vignette with this, and then like have like a couple like 1 or 2 like little figures with this. I don't have anything in 1/32 scale. Like 120 is okay, 1/24th okay. I've got a few of those, but 1/32 scale I just don't have anything. So I think if I do decide to do something like that, which I probably won't, but if I do decide to do something like that, I'll probably will just stick this with like a 1/24 scale. It's close enough. 1/24th, 1/32, you know, it'd be a very small difference between them, so not that big of a difference. Ian Henry, thank you so much for the super chat there. T-Rex was such a bland dinosaur. Lame arms, died in a lame way. I want a plesiosaur skeleton. They're like angry aquatic giraffes. Yeah, plesiosaurus are like... what would be another cool like sea dinosaur, which they're not technically dinosaurs, right? They're something else. I don't know. Yeah, Mosasaurus are like one of the in the family of the Mosasaurus, something like that. Just use 120 scale and say it's a baby Tyrannosaurus. Yeah, I mean that could work. I always wanted to skate a Baker board. I either skated Zero, Flip, and now I have a Toy Machine. Yeah, I mean those are all solid. I don't think I ever had a Flip board. I think I may have had a Zero board at some point. Maybe one. But I know I've had a couple of Baker boards and a couple of Toy Machine boards. Len, over there on Twitch, hello. There were no marine dinosaurs. Yes, right. Yes, so I know that. Thank you, Willie T. I'm glad we have an actual paleontologist here with us to keep me on track. All right, let's put these hips on so that we can move on to the legs. And I think oh yeah, after we put one side on, then we're going to put the base in here. So the base is like sandwiched up in between the hips. So like this. That's up in there, and then you close this up. There we go. Neat. And then legs. Aquatic reptiles aren't dinosaurs. Yes, exactly. I had a brand new Articulation Flip Pro deck. Me and my friend made a bet on a trick to land. I lost the bet and snapped the new flip in half. I was so mad. I don't think I ever really had any like really like unfortunate breaks, really. No, I take that back. Yeah, with one of my, I remember like with one of my Black Label boards that happened. Not in the same way. It's not like I was betting my friend and then something happened, but I think, what were we doing? We were just skating a local stair set near my friend's place, and just like broke the tail off. Look at that foot. Is it articulated? Hong asked. No, not articulated. No. Hi, Zach. I got what you're saying there. If there was a Plamo Sue that was posable in the 6-inch scale for $25, I'd get it. I mean, that 6 inch is pretty small. I would wish it would be larger than that, to be honest. This is gonna be larger. Not that much bigger, but slightly larger. As you can see, there is some sandwiching of the parts here in the legs, so there will be kind of seam lines here with these. But I don't think it's really going to be all that noticeable, just because of the shapes. You're not really going to notice the seams there. Ooh, this little back toe there doesn't really want to stay in all that well, I think. There's one leg. I really like that the body includes the gastralia, those, yes, ribs on the belly. Yes, thank you for, I couldn't remember what those are called. While I was recording the unboxing, I was mentioning about that as well, that I thought it was cool that they were including those belly ribs, but I couldn't remember what they were called. I knew it was something like that. Thank you, gastralia, yes. That is something most plastic skeletons and drawings and museum reconstruction simply forget. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely cool that they included that. Oink. Okay, there we go. Let's see. I bet USA Gundam Store will supply him with it. With what? What are you talking about? Oh, how long you'll get the HGC Nightingale? Yeah. So yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna get my HGC Nightingale. As I was just talking about earlier, someone else asked about that. My pre-order was not able to be fulfilled. So, and then just to clarify, I know a lot of you guys have probably heard me clarify this many times, but I know because there's some people who are still unaware of the fact, and Scarlett was saying that I USA Gundam Store will provide me with it. While my content is all sponsored by USA Gundam Store and like made possible by USA Gundam Store, my kits don't physically come from USA Gundam Store. That because I'm here in Korea, it just wouldn't make sense for kits to go from Japan, from Bandai in Japan, or Bandai or Kotobuki or whatever, from Japan to Florida and then back across the ocean to me here in Korea. It just would take a long time, just like would cost more. So no, I mean, for any of you guys who have not figured that out, my kits don't physically come from USA Gundam Store. So a lot of people will comment sometimes saying like, oh, how did he get his kit first when I pre-ordered from USA Gundam Store, but I haven't got mine yet. They sent his out first, like all mad about it. But no, it's not what happens. All right, here it is, guys. It's a little wobbly, which makes me sad because it's fine, but while doing the review for you guys, the one it's on my rotating base, that means it's going to be wobbling like that. Annoying. But yes, very cool. Rising Star said, hey Zach, which mortar head is your favorite? I don't really... You're talking about like 5-star stories, right? It's not really my thing. So I don't really know them very well. I don't know the designs very well. I couldn't really answer that. When you're in Florida, though, it'll be dope hookup, though, even if it'll be a little bit of a wait compared to now. Yeah, it'll be nice in Florida. And I think probably, I mean, I don't know exactly how it's going to be, how the logistics of it are going to be, but we'll probably be trying to set up a way for me to get the kits for review earlier than the stock. So, like, I'll get mine to be able to do my review faster than we get like all the kits from Bandai. So like, you know what I mean? So I will still hopefully be able to do reviews ideally before we get them in stock so that you guys can pre-order if you want. But yeah, that thing is massive. It looks a lot better, maybe bigger, because it's honestly like not that big. It looks bigger because of the angle you guys are seeing it from. It's pretty big though. I mean, it is about 16 centimeters, or for those of you guys in the US, it's about 6.5 inches. It's just over 6 inches tall. So yeah, I guess that 6 inch, someone was saying earlier about having a 6-inch kit. I thought this would be larger than that, but yeah, apparently this is just right about 6 inches, so there you go. Yeah. There. Okay. Why is pose a jumping pose? Yeah, honestly, I'm not really that big of a fan of the jumping pose either. I would have liked just a regular walking pose, standing pose or something. Would have been preferable for myself. I think it was a little bit of Bandai just trying to flex a little bit too hard. They're like, hey, we can make this dinosaur skeleton, but let's make it even cooler, make it jumping. Like, not really necessary, but okay. Alright, Bandai. So cool, but yeah, hopefully if they continue the line, which I hope they do, I hope they make, some more kits in this line. At least, 1, 2, 3 more would be awesome. I don't expect it's going to be a line that they're going to make a ton of, but if they make a little bit more, that'd be really cool. And I hope they're not jumping in the future. If they make like a Triceratops that's like rearing or something, I mean, I don't know. But just please don't. Just standing or walking, even grazing would be fine. A rearing Brachiosaurus could be cool, because then that's kind of like a throwback to Jurassic Park, which I can appreciate. But, otherwise, nah. It's cool. I would have been very happy with just a standing pose too. Cut the stand and make it just crouching on the ground. It would look a little bit weird. Yeah, you could maybe make it look like it's feeding on something. Then the tail being in that position would look a little bit strange. But yeah, you could make it look like it's munching on something. Sure. Breaching Plesiosaurus? Yes. That would be fine, because you can't have like a standing Plesiosaurus, right? Hope they make an Indominus Rex. Just kidding. I mean, I don't know. I don't think they'll do any Jurassic Park crossovers. They could. They might, but I don't think so. Haven't seen too many lines with only one kit. Right. Yeah, but it's not necessarily like an established line necessarily, I don't think. So it could just be a one-off. The whole 1/32 imaginary skeleton. I don't know if that really seems like that's like a line or just like the thing. They've got other stuff where it's like a one-off thing, so it's not unheard of. If they did a Velociraptor jumping, that would make sense. Yeah, totally. A jumping Velociraptor would make a lot more sense. For the size of Tyrannosaurus, I'm sure it was, you know, I don't know, we have to ask our resident paleontologist who's in the chat there, but I'm sure it was able to jump. I mean, it makes sense that it would be able to jump. I don't think it probably did a whole lot of jumping, though. I don't know. Maybe a juvenile, maybe more, but just a fully grown adult seems like it would just, that would be a lot of energy to use to jump when it's that massive. That just doesn't really seem like it would be that worth it for it to expend that kind of energy. Willie T says, most certainly able to jump and run. Well, there you go. I'm sure it was able to. I just don't know if it really would have done it as much as a fully grown one. But I don't know. Who knows? Like I said. Certainly a jumping Velociraptor skeleton would make a lot more sense. Something larger, though, would be a lot more fun to build, I think, though. A Utahraptor or something. I expect some custom scribing on this thing. Yeah, sure. Chris will add some scribing, get some of those 3D printed detail parts, just like glue on there, on the head or something. Totally. Need some, like, make some hatch details. What's my favorite dinosaur? I don't know. I don't think I have one really, but I'm like the crested theropods I always liked. So like the Ceratosaurus I mentioned earlier, I always kind of like that. Carnotaurus is pretty cool. And there's another one. What's the one that was always cool to me because it was discovered by a paleontologist who worked at a college in my hometown. And now I can't remember the name of it. Let me see. It had maybe Willie will know. But it had the crest on the head that was kind of like, it's like an L-shaped kind of thing. It's like a weird, like L-shaped weird crest. Let me search it. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Crested theropod dinosaurs. See if I can find it. Not Dilophosaurus. I think it's this one. Cryolophosaurus. I think that's right. Cryolophosaurus. That was cool because yeah, it was discovered by a paleontologist who works at Augustana College, which is the local college from my hometown. Yes, I think that's right. Cryolophosaurus. There you go. Yep. Willie T knew what I was talking about. I would like to see a mammoth kit. Mammoth skeleton could be cool. Are you telling me that the Indominus Rex isn't real? Sorry, Chris. That's just... and it's going to break your heart, I know, but I hate to tell you that the Indoraptor is also not real. Alright. Anyway, guys, so, yeah. Pretty quick build there, obviously. Just under an hour, and that included a lot of just talking and not actual building, so... if I had just focused on the build, it probably would have taken me 30 minutes or something. But anyway, very cool. I always like enjoy building something different, and this is very different. And I'm a big dinosaur fan too, so that's cool. Is Jeff Goldblum even real? Jeff Goldblum is real, so we can all take solace in that. Dr. Hammer, there you go. My dad's in the chat to help me with that. Thank you, Dad. He said Dr. Hammer at Augustana College. Yep, there you go. So, I couldn't remember the doctor's name at all. But, yep, there you go. Hey, Dad. So, yes, we I remember when I was young, I don't remember what age it would have been, but my dad took me to the college there to meet Dr. Hammer shortly after, because I think we'd seen him in the newspaper. I don't know, my dad can remember maybe, but I don't know if we kind of knew of him or knew about him at all before that discovery, but certainly that was in the newspaper at the time, because that was a big discovery for a local paleontologist. So I think it was after that that we visited his office there at the college. I can remember that. Anyway, Scarlet Rain said, putty on skin. Yeah, I'm sure we'll see some different builds of that. There's a really cool build that I've seen. Have you seen the one in the Science Museum here in Chicago? Yes, of course. Chris, come on. Get out of here. Of course, I've seen Sue in Chicago. We were already talking about that earlier before you came in the chat, Chris, that we kind of wish that this kit was modeled after the Sue skeleton. That would have been cool, being as that's like the most famous Tyrannosaurus skeleton. Yes. That would have been cool. But yeah, I'm sure we'll see some different kit bashes and stuff and cool customized builds of this, but I'd seen one, and now I forget the guy's name on Twitter. If I can find it, he did this really awesome like little vignette this year or last year. Anyway, it's been a little while, not that recent, but relatively recently on Twitter. And if any of you guys know, if you can remember, please let me know or send me a link or something to refresh my memory. He did this awesome diorama with a different Tyrannosaurus skeleton kit. It must be an older one or something, where he built it like into so it looks like it's in like a rock wall. So it's like a half excavated skeleton that's like kind of like coming out of the wall, and there's like a little figure, like a little guy there, like just looking at it, like it's in a museum or something. It's modeled to look like it's like a museum piece of like a half excavated Tyrannosaurus skeleton. Who was that? I can't remember. If one of you guys know or can remember that, remind me, send me a link. But otherwise, I'll try to find it. I can picture the guy's Twitter picture, like his, avatar picture perfectly, but I can't remember his name. Sorry. So anyway, I'll try to find that. Yeah. It belongs in a museum. Yes, totally. So that was such a cool build. If you guys have not seen that, I really want to show that to you guys. If you like this, you'll love that. I loved it. It was such an awesome build. And so I was actually seeing his build. I was looking around online looking for like a T-Rex or like different dinosaur skeleton because I was interested in trying something like that. And then like shortly after Bend, I came out with this. So perfect. So I've been thinking about possibly doing something like that, but I don't know if I really want to do something like that. That would be cool though. I really loved his build. So I'll find that and I'll share it with you guys. Either like on Facebook or something, or I'll maybe, mention it in the review. Because now that it's built, I need to finish up this live stream and then record the review. So I'm going to do that. Anyway guys, thank you all for hanging out. Building something very different. We'll be building the Zeta kit. The RG Zeta. I'll be live building on Thursday. That'll be Wednesday night for you guys in the US. Thank you to Willie as well for being our resident paleontologist for the stream as well. That was useful. But yeah, I'll see you guys live on Thursday. Let's see. My dad also mentioned there's a picture of me, Dr. Bakker, and Pete Larson, who acquired Sue from the gal that found her. Yes. Yeah, we've got that picture. For those of you guys who are like big dinosaur nerds, you might know what we're talking about. But yes, we've got a picture of me in our basement at home with Dr. Robert Bakker and Pete Larson, yes, who was the guy who kind of acquired the Sue skeleton. I'm sure I'd want, like, not discovered, but acquired, and I suppose probably finished the excavation of that. So anyway, all right guys, yeah, thanks for hanging out, and Dad too. Hi. And see you guys later. Bye bye.